welcome back to my kitchen and welcome to another day of lots to accomplish. So today I have a pretty good size to-do list. We're going to see what all we get done. We're going to start out by making a Amish/Mennonite recipe that I've talked about sharing with you all before, but we're going to do a pumpkin version, and that is whoopie pies. I will share the original whoopie pie recipe here soon, probably in the next few weeks. But since we're focusing on a lot of fall type desserts and things and other recipes, I thought I would go ahead and share this. This is something that goes back to my childhood. Anybody that's been raised in the Mennonite or Amish type communities, or like I was raised in, up until the age of 11, a sub-church off of the Mennonites, but I would still consider it more of a Mennonite type church, a lot of the same beliefs. And this was something that we ate a lot in the fall, or else we bought from other Mennonite stores in the fall time. And if you don't know what whoopie pie is, it's something that's very popular in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and I would say probably Indiana as well. And it is a sandwich cookie. It's kind of a cakier cookie. You've got a cookie on top, cookie on the bottom, and then you've got a filling in between. And it does take a little bit of practice. I'm hoping that it's been a while since I've made whoopie pies in general, and so I'm hoping that it'll come out today. We'll see how it goes, because you don't want the cookie to be too dry, or else it just isn't a very good experience. You also don't want it to be too moist either, so you got to hit a good sweet spot. So I'm hoping that it turns out really well. If you want to try making whoopie pies, I would suggest making a pumpkin whoopie pie, just because they tend to be a little more fail-safe and easier to do. So maybe if you make this recipe, then you can tackle the original chocolate and vanilla recipe. And there are lots of flavor combinations for whoopie pies. People have gotten very creative over the years. But I would say the more common ones that you will see is the pumpkin and vanilla, the chocolate cookie with the vanilla filling, and also the chocolate cookie with the peanut butter filling. I would say those are the ones I see the most in stores in our area and just in Pennsylvania in general. If you go to Lancaster, you will see a lot of them as well. So I'm going to stop rambling. We're going to get started here. What I decided I'm going to do is mix up my cookies. You need to have the cookies completely cooled before you do the filling on the inside. So I'm going to mix up the cookies. I've got my oven preheated, and we are going to let them cool a little bit while we go out to a local pumpkin stand, and we're going to grab a few pumpkins. I thought that would be fun. That was one of the things I was hoping to get accomplished today. And so I thought, great timing. We can get those cooled down, so when we come back, we can fill the pumpkin whoopie pies right away. Before we get started, I'm actually going to sift my flour. This is not necessarily like you may see some whoopie pie recipes that do not call for this, but I'm going to do it just to help the fluffiness of my cookies, and you're going to do 4.5 cups. I don't know if I just said that, but I'm reminding myself. So I could use a flour sifter. I've had one in the past. I looked high and low in my kitchen today and cannot find it. So maybe I decluttered it thinking I don't use it very often, but I'm just using a regular sieve to do the sifting, just to make sure we have a nice light flour. And I'm also going to sift my spices through this as well. So I wondered if I'd have to go downstairs in my cellar and get more flour, but I think I have it almost enough here. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this, where I'm just sifting the flour through, and you don't have to have a fancy gadget. And if I did declutter my flour sifter, is because I do not use it very often, and I know that I have this tool that I can use instead. So that was probably my mentality on getting rid of the flour sifter. Before I sift the rest of the flour through, I'm going to add some of my other dry ingredients. So you need a teaspoon of baking soda, and then a teaspoon of baking powder. The ingredients for this recipe are fairly simple, so you can pretty much have most of it on hand. Now we're going to do a teaspoon of salt, And this is one good reason. My salt has been a little bit clumpy lately, and so this is a great way to help that is to sift it. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna do a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I keep my cinnamon in this shaker because we use it on everything. I use it in my coffee, on pancakes. Just, it's nice to keep in a shaker versus a regular spice container. So that's a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now we're gonna do half a teaspoon of cloves, ground cloves, not whole cloves, ground cloves. And then we're also going to do half a teaspoon of ground ginger. And this recipe doesn't have nutmeg in it. You might find some that do, but this is what this one calls for. And this also, for some reason, is a little clumpy. I noticed when I got it out of my larger bulk container that it was a little clumpy. So again, good reason to be sifting it. So once you have all of those dry ingredients in, you can just keep on going with the sifting, and all you have to do is just kind of hit the side of the sieve. Okay, so before we add in any of the flour that we just sifted, we're going to mix up kind of a wet batter a little bit. So we are going to do, I need to have my measuring cups here. I need a half cup. Now, you can use vegetable oil. I probably will put that on the recipe below. But this recipe, whoopie pie, is one of the biggest drawbacks if you're someone that's health conscious, is the filling has Crisco in it. I know, shocker. It's not something I cook with. In fact, I have to buy it to make whoopie pies because I don't even keep it in my kitchen. I have no other purpose for it. But there's no other way to get the filling exactly right without using Crisco. I know some people have tried lard, but the flavor really changes. So to help counteract or counterbalance that, since we don't eat a lot of vegetable oil, I actually don't have vegetable oil in my kitchen. I am just using some avocado oil, and we won't have quite as much vegetable oil going into it, but in the original recipe, it does call for vegetable oil, but you can replace it with this. So I did a half cup of that. Now we are going to do, technically it's supposed to be white sugar, but I use cane sugar, so that's kind of halfway between. So we're going to do 1 cup of cane sugar in with the oil, and then we are going to do 2 cups of brown sugar. What am I doing? I'm putting things back in the wrong thing. 2 cups of brown sugar, and of course, anytime you have pumpkin going on, anything that's caramely, and brown sugar kind of has caramel notes, it just complements it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 cups of that. And one thing that's really nice about this recipe,
Sorry guys, I'm coming. Sorry guys, I'm coming. Sorry guys, I'm coming. Hello. Sorry about that, guys.
Did you enjoy Adeline? She was making whoopie cakes or whoopie pies. Let me get situated here. I kept you guys hanging long enough. Hang on. I'm a hot mess express. You can tell I'm still sick. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm a mess. Oh my goodness. How am I feeling? I'm still super congested and just super congested, and it's like from here, like from here up, and it's just driving me nuts. So I'm so sorry. I went live and set the phone down, and okay, I'm getting to the channel now so that I can see your chat. It's much better to see it. There we go. Okay. There, now I can see your guys' chat. Thank you guys. Yeah, it hit me hard. I think honestly a lot of you guys mentioned it. I think I was going way too hard, which I really enjoyed. But I'm a person who feels things really deeply, and this whole hurricane disaster just really threw me for a loop and really emotionally drained me. I'm still not over it. I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm not going to let the same thing happen in North Carolina that happened to Hawaii, which, by the way, people are still living in tents in Hawaii. I think that we need to keep our attention focused on helping the people of those areas because they need our help. And this is what Americans do best, right? We help each other. And I know that if I was in that position, that I would want you guys to help me. I would want my neighbors to help me. And it's just better that we all think about our neighbors at this point. So don't stop talking about it. I'm not going to keep talking about this particular thing. I just want to say, don't stop talking about it. Hey, everybody, keep talking about it. I have lots of subscribers that live in the area that are giving me the true story of what's happening. The news is not covering it. The news is still saying 200 plus dead when there's add a couple of zeros to that. There's lots of people there. They're still trying to recover bodies and lots of people missing. I joined a Facebook group. It's for hurricane. People are posting their missing loved ones. It's really devastating. We really need to consider. There's also misinformation out there too, so you have to be really diligent on what you're listening to. But like I said, the people that I know that, are subscribers on my channel that live in the area are giving me the real news of what's happening, and it's just emotionally draining. And now we have Hurricane Milton. Ernie flew back last night, and he's driving back home today because they are just finishing up storm prep, and all the guys for the construction crew need to get home and prep their homes for the hurricane, and so they're shutting the job down for the remainder of the week. So he flew to Florida last night, and he's driving back home, kind of like right before Helene. So, oh my goodness. Yeah. No, the president doesn't care, and we're not going to get political, but it doesn't matter. Here's the thing, guys. And this could be the detriment of my channel right here. And I don't care because I'm not going to bow down to anybody. I'm going to speak truth, always speak truth and be transparent. This government doesn't care. It was a slap in the face to the American people to give them $750 per household and then turn around and write that she's sending 750 or however much it was, millions and millions of dollars to another country when we have the good people of America who paid, it's our tax dollars, and they can't even get it. And it's just, if you are a true American at heart, you're a true American and you love this country and you love your fellow neighbors. I don't care what side of the aisle they sit on. Our sermon was really good yesterday. We have to learn to love each other. It doesn't matter who you're voting for, who you voted for. We need to get rid of that crap altogether. It needs to go away. We just need to love on each other, because my good neighbor Dina, who lives a couple doors down, sweet, sweet girl, she is a Democrat and she votes Democrat. I'm a Republican. I vote Republican, and we can sit down and have a conversation and still love on each other and be sweet to each other and be neighborly with one another. And that's what life is all about. And so everything always has to be so political, and I can't stand it. I'm like so over the politicalness, the political rhetoric, all the stuff, the political nonsense. It's like, let's just come together as people and love each other, because it doesn't matter who you vote for when you're hungry. It doesn't matter who you vote for when you're hurting. It doesn't matter who you vote for when you've lost everything. It doesn't matter who you vote for when you need something. It doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter. You're not going to ask your doctor who he voted for before he performs surgery on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just get rid of it. But here's the deal. With this particular administration, I believe that this particular administration is not any of those parties. I don't know what they are. They're anti-American for sure, because I've just put myself in those people's position that go apply. Okay, great. When am I going to get internet to apply? And then I apply because I, was able to get internet, and then I get denied right away. People are saying they're getting denied right away. And then you get the $750, and there's no stores. Where are you going to spend the money on the stores? And then you get the $750 to go get a hotel room. That's great, but the roads are washed out. Like, it's just sickening is what it is. Okay. So with that said, now we have Hurricane Milton, and my God, how much more can these people take? I don't think I can take anymore, and it's not affecting me directly. People are showing, the stores' shelves are empty. They can't go carry. Lynn, came home after doing all her donations, and she tried to go stock up for her family to prepare for the thing, and everything's gone. It's just too much anymore. It's just too much anymore. It's like I carry these things and I feel these things so deep. Like, it's just, I don't know how to shut that off. Like, I don't know how to go on with my day. I don't know how to film a cleaning video for you, or a cooking video for you, or I have a DIY I want to do. I want to order some stuff for a Christmas tree, and I'm like, how can I even do that right now when lives are destroyed? How can I share that? I'm different. I'm built different, you guys. It just does not feel right to me. It doesn't feel right to me. You know what, Phil? You're a jerk, and you're gonna go bye-bye. You don't get to come here and be a jerk on my channel. Bye. Listen, I'm telling you, I'll clap back. Put user in timeout. You're in timeout. I guarantee you, Phil, if you ever met me in person, you would not say that to my face. Anyways, this world we live in is just disgusting. Totally dead. I am an empath. I'm an empath, and it hurts. I'm an empath, and it hurts, and I don't I think that's part of why I got sick, was because I was feeling so deeply everything, and I just let my guard down and I became susceptible. I am an empath. I feel everything so hard and so deep. I can't. Um, uh, what tore me apart, I'm going to tell the story, and I think I can tell it without crying because I know that Micah is with Jesus. I know that he's asleep, and when he wakes up, he's going to be in Jesus's arms, and I know that Jesus sent angels down to take this boy. And but you guys may have seen the story of Micah, and that's where it started. And I couldn't stop crying for Micah. And he was an 8-year-old little boy, and him and his mom and his grandma and grandpa got up on the roof, and they thought they were going to be okay. Mom even took a picture of her, of the water and how high the water was. Hey to everybody. And the house collapsed from underneath them, and Micah and her parents drowned. She was trapped in debris, but she survived and she was rescued. But Micah died, and Micah, they're very strong believers, and Micah was screaming to Jesus to save him as he was drowning. And that story right there just tore me to pieces. I couldn't, that was awful for me. And then I came to terms with it. And it was because the mom was telling the story, and I'm a mom and I'm a grandma, and it was just too much. And so that's just kind of what started it. And then I started, down the rabbit hole of hearing all the stories, and it just broke my heart. Hey, Kimberly, are you all good? All you guys that are in Florida, are you guys good? Are you in any of the evacuation zones? Ernie's coming home because they're shutting the jobs down so that the guys can go home and get their homes ready. Yeah, so I hope you guys are all good. I hope you guys are good. Good, okay. But anyway, so that was the story that really just started it all for me, and then I was just done. And Ernie knows I'm an empath, and he knows that I feel things. Okay, good to hear. So I ingest everything really deeply. When I hear stories, I can feel what people are feeling, and it did me in. I just was done. Yeah, they're saying that the wall of water is going to be a lot worse than Helene. And I don't know if y'all watch Ryan Hall, y'all, but he is the best guy on the internet to watch here on YouTube. I don't worry about storms here in my area or anywhere unless he says to worry. And so I had all these videos coming up on my feed about this hurricane, Milton, and I was like, oh, Ryan hasn't posted a video yet. Ryan hasn't posted a video. I'm not worried about it. Well, Ryan posted a video yesterday. He also posted on his Twitter X. I don't have Twitter X, but my son sent a screenshot that it's the largest evacuation since 2004 or something, or yeah. So anyways, it's supposed to be really bad. That's all I can say. So yeah. So anyways, it started with Micah, and then yesterday, one of the homesteader YouTubers posted that she had spoken with a friend who mentioned that they're pulling bodies out of the mud. And the bodies are falling apart as they're trying to pull them from the mud. I mean, I don't know if the news is sharing this, but I know just this morning Fox News said 200 plus dead. It's not 200 plus, it's thousands dead. Oh gosh, Joy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad, Joy. I hope you guys, oh, you're about 40 minutes north of Gainesville. You'll be okay. You guys are supposed to get a lot of rain. I think it's 5 to 15 inches. So, yeah, I mean, if they're shutting the job down, Ernie's just going to come home. It doesn't make any sense to stay because they're shutting it down. Yeah, he'll be home tonight. But anyway, so I had to take a break from, and it's like everywhere I turn because that's how the algorithm works, right? Once you watch one thing, YouTube suggests. That's why I always tell you guys like, comment, subscribe. When you like and comment, it lets YouTube know that people are liking my videos, and then I'm like, if you guys can give this likes, that would be great, or hearts or whatever it is here. And then it lets people know that people are, enjoying the video, and then they push it out to people who also enjoy this type of content. So that's why hearting videos and all of that are so important. And that's why you hear a lot of content creators say, make sure to give this video a like. And if you guys haven't subscribed, because I have been guilty of that, watching a lot of channels where I have not subscribed, but because I've watched one of their videos and interacted with it, I'll keep seeing that person's video, and by mistake, I'm not subscribed to their channel. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel too, and that you're not just seeing my videos because you interact. He's driving, and I think I'm gonna, yeah, it's gonna be crazy because I just watched DeSantis and the emergency people talk, and I guess they're releasing the evacuation orders at different times today, based on size of counties or something. So I told Ernie to be prepared and be patient, but a lot of people are actually going to like Gainesville. One of the guys that he works with who stays at a hotel said he woke up this morning to like a full lot of people. So a lot of people are evacuating inland. So not necessarily leaving the state of Florida. Yes, Becky, 100%. I wish people would figure that out. I hate election year. I can't wait for it to be over because the amount of times I have to hit stop or text back stop on my phone a day is driving me absolutely insane with all the political all the political text I get. It's just driving me crazy. So I think I've pretty much got it narrowed down to nobody now. Because it's every once in a while somebody gets a hold of my phone number and I get Ernie says it's real saturated already too in Gainesville. So they're getting the outer bands. No problem, Donna. Okay, so my candles are going to be ready this week. That was another update that I wanted to give you guys, and I'm so excited. So excited because he was able to find the vessels that I like, that I wanted. And so the only thing is he was only able to get 30 of them. So I'm only going to get 30 candles to start with. So that's kind of a bummer. So they'll be ready this week. I still am working on my website. And need to get that up and going. I need to figure out the taxes and the shipping and all that kind of stuff. Yay! And so that's a lot of, my brain can't handle it right now because I'm so stuffy. Have you guys ever had one of those head colds where you're just in a fog? And so I was taking Sudafed just so I could function because I had a headache and the sinus pressure and all of that. And so I was taking Sudafed, and no, actually, yes, they are soy candles, but The throw on them is freaking amazing, and they've got a cold throw too, which is awesome. I was actually shocked to find out that he made it with soy. So it was kind of a shocker for me, but I love it. I have one I'm burning already. So, anyways, but yeah, so the cold throw's really good on it. The throw, I wanted a candle that I could light in my family room and smell here at the front of the house. And this one I can smell even at the top of my stairs when it's lit in the family room, like at the upstairs. So it's really good. Um, let's see. Let me read through the comments. Donna left because I guess I wasn't being joyful. I'm sorry, Donna. Yeah, I'm glad I can't always please everybody, can I? But I do have to get I'm not the kind of person who holds back. That's just how I am. I don't know how else to be. I've said that to you guys a million times. I don't know how else to be than to be me and be transparent. And I feel like if you're going to be watching somebody or, be creating a friendship, because that's what we have, you have to know who that person is, right? There's just too many phonies on behind the camera, and I spot them a mile away. That's part of who I am too. But I'll tell you what's been my saving grace. My Bible. That has been my saving grace. And it's been really good. So if you're somebody who's not reading the Bible, it's so interesting to me that I have found this relationship with my Bible so late in life. Now, I've always been a believer, and I've always read my Bible on occasion. It was never something that I did on a regular basis. I didn't read it this morning yet. I haven't read it yet today, but it's interesting to me that it's like I want to be able to tell people that might be like me, that think the Bible is boring. Number one, if you think the Bible's boring, because I did, I'm being completely honest with you. I couldn't get past the these and the thous and half the names you can't pronounce. And, I just didn't understand it. There's lots of versions out there that you can test and find one that's a good fit for you. So I would encourage you to do that. And if you don't know how to do Bible study, my church is online. Maybe you have a church near you that you like to go to that has also online too. What I like about my church is that he goes book by book and verse by verse. So we're actually doing Bible study on Sunday. So right now we're in Revelation, and it's really cool. So if I was studying, let's say like Matthew, I can go through the YouTube channel and find when he was doing Matthew, and I could literally sit and watch that while studying my Bible in the morning alongside him. That's just something that I can do, which is really cool, I think, because it really helps to have somebody explain to you, explain to you exactly what it is that you're reading and how to interpret it, because there can be a disconnect, I think, with the Bible because it happened so many years ago. I mean, we know God exists, right? And we know Jesus died for our sins and all of those things, but there can be a disconnect because of the timing and because, all the stories and maybe the church you go to or the churches you've went to. For me, we were Seventh-day Adventist for a portion of my life. I was baptized Catholic. We went to a Baptist church. My parents were all over the road, but I'm thankful that they introduced us to God, growing up. They didn't do so well, but, they introduced us to him, and I'm thankful for that. So I always want to encourage somebody who maybe thinks the Bible's boring like I did to find a version of the Bible that suit your needs, or maybe listen to the Bible. My hairdresser back in California, her and her husband had made it a plan to read the Bible. That was their New Year's resolution. And instead of reading, they did the audio version of it. And that's what they were able to do, and they really liked it. And sorry, that's my son calling. So I know it would be really fun to say. I thought about that. Hold a Bible study would be really fun. I think that would be really fun. It would be fun. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, there's well, Pam, it's nothing about the Bible is boring when you can understand it, okay? And that's what I was getting to. No, the Old Testament is definitely not boring. And it is, you have to be able to understand it and comprehend it though, right? And you have to, we have to let people know. I think this is a problem with a lot of people. We want to get the word out. We want to let people know that God wants to have a relationship with you. He wants to have a relationship with you. And, I think a lot of people hold back from that because they're like, well, I'm a heathen, I'm a sinner. Well, it's a good thing you're a sinner, because the pews of every church would be empty if there were no sinners, you know what I'm saying? So it's okay. And I think that people, depending on what they were exposed to, think that they have to look a certain way or act a certain way or be a certain way or whatever. They can't be who they are. And, because they'll get judged, but truly the only judge is God. He is our judge. And that's the only person you have to please. And guess what? It's really easy to please him. He wants to have a relationship with you. And it does, Pam, because right now, if you haven't read Matthew, I'm reading Matthew alongside Revelation on Sundays. So I started in Matthew, I should say. So I'm studying that alongside Revelation. But yeah, so it's, if we could just get the word across, I have a son and daughter-in-law, and my son's tatted up and all of that. And he loves Jesus, and he's a pastor, and he's amazing. And I think that there's a lot of churches, when we were at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, was a stickler. We couldn't wear shirt. We couldn't show our knees or our collarbone or our shoulder bones. We couldn't wear makeup or jewelry or nail polish. We had to wear clothes below our knees. And it was kind of crazy. And, we didn't ask to be baptized into that religion. My parents decided that's what we were going to do. And so we even went to school for 1 year. I think the church got together and collected money to send me and my sisters to that Seventh-day Adventist private school for 1 year, 4 of us. So that's pretty crazy. So I did get to go to private school for 1 year, and it was the Seventh-day Adventist private school. Which I don't believe any of, but I will say, I do give credit. I don't believe anything that they taught, except for they were responsible for my love of Bible study. I will say that, because we did Bible study weekly, and I loved it. I loved it. I think I've mentioned to you guys before, I knew Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John like the back of my hand. I was so well versed in it. When we were in Seventh-day Adventist, it was amazing. Do you watch my church, Lisa? You like him? Corey, he's awesome. I love Bible study too. I think it's really fun. I've never known how to lead a Bible study. I don't know how to lead one. I think that would be really fun though, if I could. If I could, have a Bible study that we could all be on together live, that would be really fun. It'd be really, really fun. I enjoy it. Yes. God looks at the heart. Amen, amen. It's true. Yes. So, he is. He's really down to earth, and that's what I love about him. He also reminds me of my brother-in-law that passed away years ago, about 40 years ago. I have a brother-in-law that passed away when my oldest son was a baby, and he reminds me of him so much. It's so funny how he's always barefoot up on stage and in his jeans and black t-shirt with his long hair. And that was my brother-in-law. He rode a Harley and he wore a black t-shirt all the time. And he always wore his jeans and he was tatted up and he had long hair. And so every time I see Pastor Corey, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Dell all over again. So cool. Yeah, he's amazing. He is. He makes you think too. Like, you know, every sermon that he gives is, you know, is good. He's got a way to really pull you in, and before you know it, it's like, you know, he's done and he's like, okay, let's pray. You know, like we're done with service. It's like, oh man, you know, I didn't want that to end. He's really good. Morning devotion. You know, I've never done devotions. I don't know what that is. I'm being completely honest with you. I just read the Bible and I started to journal. Um, hey Kathy. Um, you know me, I just decide to go live whenever. Actually, I think these guys sat here listening to YouTube for a minute while I came in and put the phone down and walked away, and I was doing some things. What was I saying? Oh, I started journaling, and in my book, it says, I mean, my Bible, it will tell you. Let me get my Bible. So this is my Bible that I read. My daughter-in-law got this for me, and I love it so much. And in for instance, it gives you all of these little, so it'll give you like a prayer. It'll tell you what to observe and how to interpret what you read, apply, how to apply it. And hold on a second. It'll say, journal the changes you need to make for this to be possible. And that's after commit to change, to overcoming obstacles. How will you overcome the obstacles that keep you from fully following Christ? And so then it'll ask you to journal all those things. Well, I was at a point in reading this Bible when it was telling me to journal my sins, or journal, was it my sins or something? And I was like, I'm not journaling anymore. I don't know if I want that in writing. When I die, people are going to read it. Sorry, Lord. That's what I said. I said, can we just keep it between me and you? Do I have to write it down on a piece of paper? Yes, putting God first every day. And you know, it's funny, not funny, haha, but when you are in the habit of doing that and you don't do it, you can really tell a big difference in how your day starts off. When I start with God first and I read while I'm having my coffee and, you know, and I do all of that, and then I do my day, then my mornings are so much more productive. I'm more productive. My outlook on life is so much better. And when I don't, like this morning, I got up at 4:30 because Ernie flies into Jacksonville, and then he has to drive to Gainesville. And so I always worry, and he didn't get there until, I think it was after 10 o'clock my time, so 11 o'clock his time, which means he wasn't going to get to the apartment until after midnight. And I was worried about him. So I talked to him for a little while, and then I said I can't keep my eyes open because I'd taken my Sudafed. And there you go, Pam. What's the name of the Bible? Couldn't read the name. It's Courage for Life. I love it. It's Courage for Life. It's the best. It's a study Bible for women. So good. And so I fell asleep, and then I slept solid and woke up at 4:30 in the morning. And right away, I'm like, I got to turn my phone on and see if Ernie made it to the apartment. So, yeah, I'm not writing anything. God knows, he knows. I have written I have journaled some prayers, and for those who don't know how to pray, because I think a lot of people don't know how to pray. That's not a bad thing. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to pray. That's not what I meant to say. But I wanted to make sure, because when you pray, you want to make sure that you spend a lot of time praying for other people. So, am I saying that right? Or do I sound demanding? You don't want your prayer to be about me, 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 me. You want your prayers to be about everybody, right? I mean, you want to include everybody. And so I wrote my prayer out, and it's like three or four pages. It's 3 pages. I wrote my prayer out that I say every morning, and I add to that now, but I say that prayer every morning, and in that prayer, I pray for you guys, and then any special prayers that people ask for. I have names written down on another page here, and I'll write, scriptures down, that are important to me in my journal. Just different things that are, that I liked. And yeah, and so that's what I was going to get to too, is the relationship with God is, so everybody hears him different. Everybody hears, because for a long time, I would hear people say, well, then God told me, to do this, and God said, do that. And I would never ask, because I would think to myself, well, are they hearing an audible, like, are they actually hearing an audible voice? And I pray for everybody too. And no, everybody hears differently. I'll give you a couple of examples of how we hear. Sometimes we hear in the moment. Sometimes we get, at the end result, we'll get that's why that happened, like type thing. Or, it could be as simple as you're trying to walk out the door, and, you get in your car and you're like, did I blow out that candle? I didn't blow out the candle. Darn it. I'm running late. You turn the car off, you run in the house, you blow the candle out, you get back in the car, you start it, and you drive down the road and realize that you could have been the person that was in that accident that happened, and it's little things like that. And when you're asking for things, I used to say, like, I used to think to myself, when people would ask for things, like, what does that sound like? What does that mean? Like, when they're asking, like, you have to get really comfortable in your relationship with Jesus, and it's so hard for me to to say what I'm thinking. You have to get really comfortable with your words and with what you're asking for. And sometimes it starts, you just have to ask. And then the more you pray and the more your relationship develops, it just becomes more of a natural thing and the words just come to you. And my daughter-in-law, like, she doesn't hear like an audible voice, but she gets like a feeling. And when she told me that, I was like, I get that too. And she goes, well, that's the Holy Spirit. Because that's how I hear God answer my prayers. And it's so you learn how to hear, how to hear God too. And the best way to do that sometimes is just to sit still and shut your eyes and in complete silence, and you'll be able to hear him. But it's really been a joy to develop a relationship, of my own personal relationship with God, and it's been super special. And so that's why I talk about it a lot, because I want as many people to feel that as possible. And it doesn't mean you have to stop having fun in life. I used to think that, and that's probably because I was programmed at one church that way, that if I had a relationship with God, that life couldn't be fun anymore. And that was basically probably programmed in me from the Seventh-day Adventist church. And that's not it at all. Actually, life is more fun with Jesus in it, because you don't have to worry about anything. Sorry about my cough. So when you hand everything over to him, when things are tough, like, believe me, I've been handing a lot over to him these last few days. It just does that to you. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. Whatever is to be is to be. And it's already set in stone, and there's nothing you can do about it. So worrying about it, isn't going to. And that's mostly why I haven't cried about the hurricane victims anymore, because I know that they're in good hands. And as tough as it is, they're in good hands, and we have to remember that. So it's a good feeling when you hand things over, to God and give it to him, and it just kind of releases you, and you just have to have faith. I think faith, it's really hard. It's easier said than done. Having complete faith is really easier said than done. And so it's something that we need to really work on, I think, as humans. I know I need to work on it, for sure, having faith 100%. Yeah, you do. You have to have faith over fear 100%. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. And I have to tell myself all the time, yeah, Brenda, it's horrible. Yeah. It's it's funny, you guys. This is really, I don't know if this is funny, haha, but it may actually made me sad. I didn't know this. I actually just found this out maybe like 6 months ago. This whole time that I assumed we were going to go to heaven, or we were going to be, taken to heaven, and we were going to live this beautiful life, and, on streets of gold and everything. And this whole time I have, and don't laugh at me, okay, when I say this. I'm being completely transparent with you guys about this. I thought I was going to be doing that with Ernie. And then I found out that I won't know Ernie. When all that happens, we won't know each other. And it's going to be okay. We won't care. But I had the hardest time with that. I cried when I found that out. Why would God cause such God caused tragedy? Dr. Lovegreen. Your name does not match your question, Dr. Lovegreen. So let's block ya. Why does everyone want to blame God for everything? You know? Faith, I love it. Yeah, he got blocked. Actually, I put him in a timeout, so he has to listen to us and read our comments. Why does everybody want to blame God? You know, he wants to blame God. Nothing, you know, everything's God's fault. Sad. We'll pray for you, Dr. Lovegreen. We'll pray for you. Yeah, you will known as you were known. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't get past that comment. I'm trying to move forward. You know, it's funny. I got to experience that a couple times, you guys. So my father-in-law, God rest his soul, when he passed away, so he had a stroke. My in-laws live in San Diego, and they have property in Tijuana. And my father-in-law was always at the properties, like fixing it up, doing things and what have you. So he was in Tijuana, and he had a stroke while he was there, and he managed to get on it in a taxi to get him to the border and get another taxi to get him to the house. And when he got off the taxi, it was the same time my brother-in-law was getting home. And my brother-in-law saw that something was wrong, so they got him to the ER, and he had a massive stroke and continued to have strokes. He ended up passing away. But prior to passing away, my father-in-law had a lot of regrets. This is the beautiful thing I think about. I don't want to say death, because there's not really, that's a hard thing for a lot of people to swallow. But my father-in-law, when I got to the hospital, finally, my husband took me into the room, and I didn't want to see him, so I was hiding behind Ernie because I didn't want to see my father-in-law like that, right? Because I'd always seen my father-in-law as this strong, you know, man, and I wasn't prepared to see him weak in a hospital bed. And so it took me a minute to come out from behind Ernie to look at him. And my father-in-law and I had a very strained relationship. Very strained relationship. I mean, Ernie and I have been together since I was 16, Ernie was 17. So Ernie's mom and dad owned restaurants, and Ernie worked at that restaurant every day of the week. So he went to school and went to work, and that was it. Ernie had no life outside of home and work, or school and work. And when he met me, things changed. And, you know, we were dating, and, you know, so Ernie wasn't going to work and everything. And my father-in-law could not stand me because of that. So, you know, turns out we got pregnant, and then we ended up getting married. And then my father-in-law was stuck with me, but we had this very strained relationship. And Ernie's dad was very old school. In Mexico, they have what's called machismo. And you don't question the machismo men. They get to do whatever they want to do in the house, and nobody questions them, not even their wife. And that's just the way it is. And I was not from that kind of a family. And so we would literally be sitting around my mother-in-law's kitchen table in mid-conversation with my father-in-law, and he would get up and walk out, and he'd be gone for like 3 hours. And then he'd come home, and he wouldn't tell anybody goodbye, I'll be right back, nothing. He would just get up and walk away. And so he would walk in the house like 3 hours later, and I'd say, "Where the hell have you been? That was rude. You just got up and walked out." And he would laugh at me because nobody's ever questioned him before. So anyways, we had that kind of a relationship, um, where we would go at each other, but we got along, you know what I mean? So, uh, he was an interesting man. And that moment when I came out from behind Ernie's back and I saw him laying in the bed, he couldn't speak because he had had the stroke. He just started crying, and I could see in his eyes everything he wanted to say. So that was amazing, and I was able to tell him, "I forgive you," and everything. And so we got to handle that before he died, and that was wonderful. So anyways, they moved him to a room, and the waiting room turned into the family waiting room. We had visitors like crazy. I mean, it was just, you know how it goes. I mean, even a table set up in the waiting room with food and drink, and it was like a place where everybody came and they took turns going in the room to spend time with them and see him and all those things. Ernie and I were exhausted, like exhausted. We didn't have kids at home. We were empty nesters. His siblings, his brother was taking care of his mom, so making sure she was okay, getting her to and from the hospital, making sure she ate, took her medicines and everything. And then his sisters, they still had small children at home, so it was up to Ernie and I to stay at the hospital. And so we were exhausted. And finally, one day I said, "You know what, babe, this is it. We have to tell everybody to stay away." I told the nurse, I go, "Can you please halt any visitors, put up a sign on the door. We need to get some sleep." And she said, "Absolutely." So we figured out that night how to open the couch into bed. Ernie and I were sleeping with our heads like on the the little sofas they give you in the hospital rooms. He was head on one side, I was head on the other side. And that night we figured it out, so we were able to get a little bit better sleep. We actually both passed out. Ernie passed out. And that guy, he can wake up at a pin drop. He would hear the boys walk down the hallway, and he knew which boy it was when they were little. So he was, he I hate when my ring goes off and it's just a car. Anyways, so we got, Ernie was dead asleep, and I woke up, and the nurse was checking my father-in-law's pulse. And I said, "Is he gone?" And she said, "Not yet." And I said, "Okay." And so I shut my eyes again, and we were so tired. It was so easy to fall back into a deep sleep. And when I opened my eyes again, my father-in-law's hand was up in the air like this. And yeah, it was his right hand up in the air because she was standing on this side of the bed. She was checking his pulse. And I said, "Is he gone?" And she said, "Yes." And I woke Ernie up right away, and I said, "Hey, your dad's gone. Your dad's gone. We need to, go call your mom and your siblings." And so he got up, and we, went over to Nacho side. Ernie went out of the room. He called his siblings to hurry up and get there. And then he came back in, and the nurse said, to talk to him because the hearing is the last thing to go. So she told us to talk to him. So we were, and she said, "Do you mind if I pray?" And we were like, "Of course." And so she prayed with us and everything. And it was just such a lovely thing, to be able to witness that. He was reaching for somebody's hand. And yeah, so it was really cool. He was a strong Catholic believer, very strong Catholics. So anyways, it was really cool to see that. And and it's always cool to see that. And then you hear the stories, right, of when people pass. And thanks, Rhonda. Yeah. I'm catching up on comments. All right. Okay, so did you guys know that Ernie and I got married when we were 18 and 19, and we went to the Justice of the Peace and we got married, and then he dropped me off at home, and then he went home and we didn't live together when we got married? Yeah, that's pretty funny. I don't know what it's like to wear a wedding dress. Yeah. My mom did too. I actually got to lay next to her. She was in hospice, and the nurses, she was laying on her bed, and the nurse, the recliner that was next to her bed reclined at bed level. So I was able to lay down next to her, and I could not sleep for the 2 nights before that. I was not feeling any peace. It was me and 2 of my sisters that stayed there while she died. And I had this beautiful vision of my mom and dad my dad and mom meeting my dad was standing at the top of the stairs. It was a train, and there was these stairs, and the train and the stairs were covered, and my mom was at the bottom of the stairs, and I saw her run up the stairs and them embrace. And then my mom had luggage, a piece of luggage, and shut the luggage down. And I remember they wrapped their arms around each other's waists, and they were both waving at me. And then they got in the back of the train, and as the train was pulling away, they were both waving. And I woke up and I said, I know how it ends. And my sister said, what? And I go, I know how it ends. And I told them the story. My mom died that day. It was crazy. I don't know. I don't think death is a scary thing. I mean, nobody wants to die, right? And we all miss our loved ones when they die, but I'm not afraid of it. Okay, I don't want to talk about death anymore. I have housework to do, and I just cannot get into it, you guys. I cannot. I made chicken pot pies, one for dinner, and then I made the filling and put it in the freezer. I have like 10 pounds of tomatoes. Apples, because I want to do the same with apple pie. What else do I have? I made pie crust for the freezer, and it's delicious. Oh my gosh. I'm so congested. I'm trying today to not take my Sudafed because I've been on Sudafed for 3 days, and I'm like done taking it. Sometimes I think the medicine makes me feel worse than I actually feel. Oh, Kathy, I'm sorry. Nobody wants to do housework. I have to get my house back in order again. Yeah, it'll get done. Ernie will help me. I'm going to take the day off. I just figured I would come and sign on and chit chat with you guys since I didn't upload a video today, and I probably won't. I might end up going back with him this weekend coming up. I'm not sure. We'll see. But we have a trip coming up too. Yeah, I need to rest. And all I'm thinking about is I have sheets that need to be washed, and it's never ending, the housework. Yeah, I have Mucinex too. I need to go dig that out and make sure it's not expired. Mucinex works great during allergy season for me. I never thought about it for this one. But the Sudafed took care of the headache because it was like a head cold. So it was like the head congestion, the headache, the everything. My eyes feel like really tender from all the congestion. Friday was probably my worst day. I was watching it because I woke up, I was sick on Wednesday, Thursday, I was starting. And I just kind of chopped it up to allergies because I get allergies really bad. And because I wasn't feeling anything other than the congestion. And Friday morning, I woke up and I was like, oh, this feels different. But I had to go watch my grandkids. So I went to go watch them, and I was good for probably the first 2 hours, but I was getting worse. My granddaughter wanted to decorate for Halloween, so I ordered a Target delivery for like some Target Halloween decorations, and I made them a chicken pot pie, and that way they could finish decorating as a family and have put a dinner in the oven. And my daughter-in-law came home, and I said, I need to go home and rest. And I got home, I stopped and picked up some soup, and I came home. I ate my soup, and I took 4 Motrin, so 1,000 milligrams of Motrin, because that's how much pain I was in, like aches, body aches, pains, my head, everything. And I passed out, and that was it. I was done. And Ernie came home that night, and when he got home, my neck, like the back of my head, my neck, my shoulders were so sore. And I had him rub Tiger Balm on it. And then I had Vicks on this side, Tiger Balm on that side. And yeah, I was down and out. So Friday was probably my worst. And then Saturday, and then today I felt fine. I just sound horrible. You guys are so sweet. Aw, you guys are so sweet. Wouldn't that be nice to have somebody come and show up and clean? You know, and I actually have a neighbor down the street. If I said, can you come clean my house? She would be like, gladly, I'll be there in 5 seconds. She's a clean freak. I love her. It's not horrible. Ernie's great. You know, like yesterday he cleaned the kitchen so good. And I think the dishes in the dishwasher are clean. I think he started I hope he started the dishwasher. I need to do an Instacart order because I ran out of coffee pods. And what do I keep seeing? It must be birds. I keep seeing birds fly by. I need to do Instacart. I did laundry yesterday. I didn't fold any of it. I washed and dried it and just kept piling it up on the sofa in my bedroom. But at least it was done. Because I didn't want to get behind washing and drying. And yeah, I just need to wash my sheets and mop the floor. I'm looking at my floor. I need to do that really bad. I don't have COVID. I wouldn't know if I did. I don't test for that. It's just a cold. They still exist, you know. Colds still exist. It's funny when you tell somebody you're sick, that's the first thing that they say. Wait, it's a cold. I have a cold. It's a head cold from here at. I'm okay. I'm going to survive. Vicks works wonders too. Sherry, how are you? I am, CJ. Believe me, I am. I'm asking that everybody pray for Florida. Is it um raining where you're at already, CJ? He said if I wasn't better, he was going to take me in to get me something, because he said, well, when I called, you sounded horrible. And I said, well, I was sleeping when you called. So something Pax. I don't know, he was going to take me in then. CJ, is it raining already though there? Yeah. Oh, good. Because they said that outer bands could be as early as tomorrow, is it? Actually, I think somebody else said that they're getting rain earlier in the chat already. Because the outer bounds, isn't that how it works? The outer bands come in first as the eye is moving closer. Yeah. Yeah, we got to keep Florida. Cat 5? Oh my word. Well, Ryan Hall will be live. I think he said they were going to start going live starting today. And when he goes live, he has storm trackers, and then they're so good. They're so good at tracking everything. Yeah, Ryan Hall, y'all, love him. Pam, I'm not sure. He hasn't texted yet to tell me when he's coming home. Hold on. He hasn't texted yet to tell me when he's leaving, but they had to get the job site buckled down. Hey, Matilda, they had to get the job site buckled down first. And then I told him to go to the apartment and grab my rolling pins because I went to go roll out the dough for my chicken pot pie and I didn't have a rolling pin. So I had to like press my dough into place. And then I used a mason jar to roll the top one out. I have two. I hope it weakens. I don't think any of us really will know, right? Because there was all kinds of predictions about Helene, and then look what that did. It completely missed its original target, and so we just have to pray. But I do believe I heard that too, that it was supposed to weaken to Cat 2, which is still pretty bad by the time it hit the shore. He's coming home, but he just said he was wet. They're just buttoning up and it's mainly because the ground is already so saturated, and they're supposed to get 5 to 15 inches of rain with this storm, and the construction workers, they need to go get their families taken care of and their houses taken care of and do what they need to do to their homes. So they're just shutting down the job. Hey, Marianne, thank you. I was just catching people up on for Ernie to retire. Hopefully soon, y'all. Hopefully soon. I'm ready for Ernie to retire too. Kathy, you're so cute. My sister and brother-in-law are buying an RV when they retire. They're campers. They're camping people already as it is. So they're going to buy an RV when they retire. Well, I'll tell you, we're not retiring in this house, though. So if you're ready for him to retire, you got to be ready to say bye to this house. Everything's fine here. I'm in Middle Tennessee, so we didn't get anything but days of rain, no flooding. I mean, our usual flooding, not flooding, but usual places where water collects. It's the Tennessee border, North Carolina border that it got hit hard. I'm not sure. We'll probably stay local. We'll just buy something much smaller. My plan is when Ernie retires to not have all this to take care of. You know what I mean? That's not retirement. I want something small, little cottage. Yeah, no lawn to mow, same thing. I don't know if they have to evacuate. I don't know. I don't know where she lives exactly. She doesn't say exactly where they're at for good reason. But hey, Rachel from Switzerland. I'm sure she'll say something on Instagram, Carrie Lynn. So if you guys want to find out how they're doing, I'm also worried about Lynette Yoder and her parents. I'm worried about, oh my gosh, everybody's names. The WAD Squad. I'm worried. There's so many Florida YouTubers that I watch, and I'm just worried about all of them. Yeah, she's in the Sarasota area. Yeah. Field's full house. Is he evacuating? Amy Marion, yep. There's a lot of YouTubers whose lives are, a lot of homesteads were impacted from Helene. And, oh wow. No villages. If we're gonna stay local to where we are at. We'll just find something smaller, that's retirement friendly. I could never, I don't think I could afford the insurance at the villages or the house insurance in Florida. My goodness. It's expensive, yes. And I don't see it going down anytime soon. Yes, Murfreesboro is a lovely area. It really is. It's growing really fast. But, and we love it here. Yeah, we love it here. We're close to the kids. We just want something smaller. There I am. Sorry, that was a political call. Oh. Yeah, Florida is, there's some properties that are very affordable that I would love to buy, but with all this hurricane stuff and the insurance, oh my goodness. Because originally I actually told Ernie, let's just go rent an apartment. That way we don't have to worry about, like a high rise. We don't have to worry about the the insurance on it or whatever. We don't have to worry about the maintenance. We could just rent. But he's not about that. He wants to buy. And I'm fine with that. You guys, I know it seems like I like things, but I do this because I'm here. I'm a simple girl with super simple needs. I need none of this stuff. None of it. I bought some tea, yeah. Lisa, you're so cute. Yeah. But yeah, I just want something small, something easy. Our happiest time was we lived in a 1,400 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, little small house on a cul-de-sac. And that was my favorite house I've ever lived in, ever. Oh, oh yeah, he said I was materialistic. Yeah, that's jealousy. It's sad you get a lot of people on him. I don't take anything anybody says personal. Number one, because they're weak. You're weak. If you have to go type something to a complete stranger, you're a weak person anyways. And they don't have any teeth in my game, so nothing that people say to me can bother me. They don't have any teeth in my game, so I don't really care. I just block it. And one of the things, I think I mentioned this couple lives ago, that one of the things I'm trying really hard to learn how to do is respect other people's opinions. But if you come to my channel and you're nasty, I will clap back because I'm spicy. And this right here has given a lot of people with no backbone bravery that they normally wouldn't have, you know, if they're face to face. Well, thank you, Lisa. You guys are all amazing. Yeah, I could never go to a complete stranger's page and just be mean to him. You know what I mean? Like, just be mean. I couldn't. Or say something to him. I don't know. I just think that's weird. Yep, they're keyboard warriors. Yep. Spicy. It's unnecessary and healthy. I used to be mean. I used to be really mean. Really, really mean. I have a personality that makes people, or I have a disposition. What do I have? I don't know what I have. People that have met me in real life say that they're afraid of me. But I'm the sweetest thing. And I think it's because of how tall I am and how bold I am. But I'm the sweetest thing ever, you know, and it's because I'm 5'10". I used to be 5'11", but I'm 5'10". And you know, I'm tall and I'm bold and I just say what comes to my mind. And so people say that they're afraid of me or that I scare them. And I think it's because they're afraid I'm going to say something. And I'm good. I'm good. I would never say anything. Like, be mean, you know what I mean, to people. And I always laugh when people say that. You know, it's like my friends who become my realtors. I have one here, and one back in California, and she would always say, "You scare me." And it's not that I'm being scary. I'm just very, don't mess with my money. You're working for me. You're my real estate agent. Don't take me to a place that doesn't have any of my needs met. You know, I'm just very, don't bring me to a house that's out of my price range. Don't try and talk me into spending more. Like, I'm very, you know, this is the way I do things. Don't waste my time. And and she would say, "You scare me." So then she'd be, you know, afraid to say things to me. And I was like, "Oh, stop it." I'm assertive. Yeah, I'm very assertive. Especially when I do business with family. Because if when it comes to money, I refuse to do business with family. I have a niece that's vegan, which is funny. She didn't become vegan until she went to college. She ate a pound of bacon before that. She went to college and all of a sudden she wouldn't eat anything with a face. Cutie patootie. I could be a vegetarian easy. Couldn't be a vegan because I like dairy products. Dairy products don't like me though. Hey Steffi, I'm glad. Yeah, being a vegetarian is super easy, I think. I like my meat, you know. I mean, Ernie's a meat and potatoes guy, so I have to cook meat when when I'm cooking for he and I. Well, that's why I attracted so many of you guys as subscribers, because you're as direct as I am. I love it. Could you imagine us all in the same room? That would be fun. Oh my goodness. You did? What's he saying, Sheila? Is he live? Maria, yeah. Is Ryan live? Yeah. You know what? It's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to be straightforward, especially these days, though. So I'm glad that I'm assertive and straightforward. I'm not mean or rude. I'm just assertive and straightforward. Let's just put it this way. I have never walked into a room worried if anybody was going to like me. I've always walked into a room worried I wasn't going to like anybody in the room. That's how I have always been. Bye, Laura. Have a good time at work. Yes. You never know. Cat 5. Yep. If Ryan Hall's saying it's a Cat 5, it's a Cat 5. Yeah. Ryan Hall's the guy to watch. He actually was saying to everybody in the Carolinas that it was headed straight for them and it was going to be unsurvivable. And I hate that those people didn't have more notice. I mean, what could they have done anyways? I don't know. He's here on YouTube, Pamela. Ryan Hall, y'all. 160-mile-an-hour winds. Lord have mercy. Yeah, he's on YouTube. Ryan Hall, y'all. He will. Oh my gosh, I need water. Hold on. Oh, that's so much better. He will tell you, like when we're having tornadoes, he gives exact locations. Like if you're between this street and this street, the tornado's headed right towards you. I mean, he is good. He's going to go live tomorrow. Yeah, that's when it's supposed to hit or start. It's that tickle. When people would leave. Who needs to leave? ASAP. I do have honey. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But where do they go? Honestly, we're talking millions of people. Where do they go? Thank you, gal. Yeah. Yes. Little pupsters. I watch these guys save so many dogs off roofs. Alabama, true. Georgia. The thing is that most of those places are depleted of simple things like this right now. Kathy. I hear you. Well, I know that Ernie said the people from the coast are going inland. So like inland, like Gainesville is inland, like it's in the center of Florida. So he said they're going inland. They're supposed to just get the rain. Oh. We're not talking about debates here. We're going to block you. Exactly, Pam. They've got a lot of food. I mean, I saw there was a lot of dog food being uh, donated. People were thinking about, you know what I didn't think about? Somebody had mentioned baby bottles. I couldn't buy everything, but you know, of course, after I was done donating, I was thinking of all these things I should have bought, but I can only do so much. Yeah, I got the baby stuff, but I mean, I got formula, but no bottles. I was thinking binkies, but I didn't get those either. Yeah, roads are missing. Um, I've done what I can do. I think now when people ask me, because I got so many people that reached out to me after my video that I posted when I went shopping, they wanted to give me money. And I was like, don't give me money, give it to Samaritan's Purse. Um, they can do better with it. I don't want money. I love the thought that people wanted to do that. But I don't want money. Just you guys watching the videos was helpful enough for me to be able to donate. I spent about just under $1,000, and I was totally willing to do that, mostly because of how expensive everything is. But just under $1,000, it was like 800 and something that I spent. So that was helpful. You guys just, you know, watching my videos, I was able to take that from one of my paychecks. Clothing. So, yeah, so if you can find some place that donates, I'm going to reach out to the church that I donated to see if they're going to do another run because now it's starting to get cold. Like we're having true fall weather starting today in the 70s. We're going to get down into the 40s, I think, tomorrow night. But now we're like 70s and 50s for like low 50s for a high, 70s for, you know, I mean for a low, and then 70s for a high during the day. So we're inching into our fall weather, and they're in the mountains. So I was thinking, you know, they need like sweatshirts and thermals and, you know, like thermal shirts, undergarments, that kind of stuff. But I need to find out if they're doing any more runs up there. I need to find out so that, you know, let's find out where I can donate that. And see, you know, see where. Oh, thank you, Leonore. I appreciate that. Yeah, the holiday's coming up. I'm excited to decorate for Christmas. Like I want to decorate. As soon as the weather gets cool here, that's when I start thinking, ooh, Christmas. I'm gonna be pretty, I don't know. I have this idea for my Christmas tree this year. I think it's gonna be really pretty. Black, gold, blue, white. Oh, I have an idea in my head. A theme. Oh, speaking of theme, and I'm sitting here looking at my Christmas trees. Remember these that I got? Ooh, they're so pretty. I love them. Um, Remember I told you guys I placed an order with one of my old accounts? I canceled that order because I spent the money on the hurricane. So I'm just getting my candles. That order's already been placed. So, well, I put that order on hold. I should say I didn't cancel it. Yeah, they have to rebuild from scratch. Yep. Oh, you're so lucky that it's cold. old hairbrushes. Yeah, I love Christmas. Just, I'm so excited this year. I just have this, I'm going to do one tree this year and one beautiful mantle swag. And I don't know what else yet. I don't know. I'm not going to get caught up, but I'm going to try and use a little bit from all my trees on one tree. I have it all in my head. I hate when I do that. But anyways, part of the order that I put on hold or cancel, it's canceled, but still I have all the stuff listed. It's just I had to cancel the actual order. Was a couple of swags for my own home for the mantle, but I think I have two. So I think I'm going to be okay. I don't know that I'm going to put a tree in here. I don't have room. Yeah. I don't know what we'll do in here. We'll see. Figure it out. You had your first frost already. Oh. Yeah, I thought about a tabletop tree. Hey, people are showing up. That's wonderful, Janet. I have 3 Christmas trees. I'm only going to use my one from King of Christmas this year. I'm not going to bring out the flocked one. Triple digits still, Lisa. Ugh. Two light frost in southern West Virginia already. No, you didn't miss today's live. Wow. Lisa, when are you guys supposed to cool off? Oh, 90s. You guys are still, Cynthia, thank you. You guys are still in summer digits over there. We could have summer here in Tennessee tomorrow or later today. I don't know. Uh, oh, I hear ya, Terry. I'm going to South Carolina on the 25th. Ready for goosebumps. Oh my gosh, Jennifer. You guys are so warm still. It's pretty normal though, right? At Halloween time in California, I remember. But it always cools off at night because we always had a bonfire in our driveway. Oh, thank you, Rose. My life update is that I'm getting better. And Ernie's coming home, so he's not going to be stuck in the hurricane. What else did I say? Oh, my candles are going to be done this week. I'm super excited about that. I'm trying to catch up trying to read through the comments here. Hold on. I am sick, Maria. Yes, I've been sick since Friday. I'm getting better though. He's coming home. They're shutting the job down. All of Florida's in the path. They're just going to get rain though. He's not in the path of the eye. But they're shutting the job down because the guys are from all over Florida that work, so they all need to get home to their families, and some of them might be in the evacuation zones. This fragrance is amazing for my candle. I have a candle. Let me get it. Isn't she lovely? He can only find me 30 of these. I fell in love with this just because it goes with every season. It's neutral. I figured it'd be a good neutral to go with everybody. I love it. It's big. He's a big guy. It is very similar to the Tom Ford candle scent. That's about $150 at Neiman Marcus. It smells so good. So good. So good. It's amazing. But I'm only getting 30. I'm so sad. He's going to get me more vessels, or I just have to go to his website and see if I like any of the ones that he has in stock. But he only had 30 of these. No, not a tryout. I wanted more. But I'm telling you, once you guys smell this, you're going to be done. Like, it's the best smelling candle in the world. It smells so good. He is amazing with oils. How many did I want to order? I think I told him 50 to start or whatever. Was it 50? I can't remember. Anyways, he only had 30. So, and we talked the day the ports went on strike, which they're not on strike. They postponed until January. And he had said that he ordered a bunch of stuff early. And he said if anybody was smart, they would have done the same because it wasn't like a overnight thing. They had been talking about going on strike. I don't know if it's floral. Let me see how he describes it. Or he told me what oils. I mean, I can't because it's on my phone, darn it. And I'm using my phone to live with you guys. I'll answer your question once I'm done with this. I'll give you I can't give you all of the details because it's my signature scent, but it's not floral. It's not floral. Doesn't smell floral to me. It smells so good. It smells like Neiman Marcus. Never bought anything at Neiman Marcus before, by the way. Oh, Elizabeth, it sucks. Can you pre-purchase? I have to figure everything out on my, I'll let you guys know like in advance because I'm supposed to be doing that today. I just wanted to go live with you guys and I was going to work on my website. I still have to go turn this into the county. I got my resale license and all of that. Well, I don't know what this one was for. Oh, the business tax registration form. That's kind of important. I got to turn that in. So I'm going to do that probably tomorrow. And then, hey, Barbara from Frisco. Yeah. So I got to turn that in. Anyways, I'm trying to decide if I should connect a Shopify, because that's what I used to use when I had the rustic tiller. I had a Shopify storefront. Or if I should just use, I got to compare the prices. It'll only take me a minute for, the candles to get that up and loaded. But before I even make it go live, I will let you guys know that the candles are going live. There's only going to be 30 of them. It's unfortunate, but he's going to get me more vessels. I just don't know how soon. And there's only going to be 30 in the beginning. But anyways, he promised me that he'll get me more vessels, so I'm excited about that. And they'll be done this week. But I still got to do like all the back office stuff on my website, so I'll let you guys know the date and time, and I'll put it on my community tab here on YouTube. I'll put it on Instagram. So everybody pay attention to those two things. Because that's where I'm going to put it in my stories on Instagram, and on my community tab, I'll put the date and time. And I typically, when I make things go live, well, this is what I used to do when I had my shop. I would always do it like at midnight. I feel like that's the fairest for everybody. I don't know. It's just how I've always done it. I don't know. Or maybe I'll do it at like 12 in the afternoon or something. I don't have anything priced out yet. I got to figure out all of that stuff on my end. Yes, Elizabeth, it's that time of year and the kids go back to school, you can almost guarantee. You did? You worked at Neiman's? They have the best return policy, them and Nordstrom's. I worked at Neiman's in the gift wrap department only. And I used to try on $40,000 fur coats and wrap $60 little white t-shirts for newborns. Thank you, Elizabeth. Spanish Fortnite. Mervyn's. I loved that store. Kohl's is just like Mervyn's now. I loved that store. Do y'all remember Walker Scott? Walker Scott's? And what was the shoe store that everybody went to? Shoot, my sister worked there. Yeah, the wrapping paper was amazing. That's funny. You like that? The sprayway? It does smell good. It smells really good. I think that's funny that you wish they had a candle. Manual can openers. That's what I was thinking. So we're donating formula but no bottles. Cans, but no can openers. You're right. That was the other thing I was thinking. I couldn't remember. Can openers. Yes. Woolworths, yes. Oh, I love all those stores. If we could just go back. It was so good. Kmart was a respectable place to shop, and then it went downhill in the later days. That's smart with the pull tabs. I'm kind of annoyed with Kohl's. I got their credit card, but only so I could get like their discounts. So like when I go to buy things there, I would just use my Kohl's credit card to pay. And then as soon as I was done with that transaction, I'd say, okay, now I want to pay that off, right? So I kind of used it as a debit card for the discounts. Well, they just got rid of their store credit card and they turned it into a major credit card. And they didn't even ask me. And so now I have like a major credit card from them that I didn't even want, and they automatically attach them. It's It's just another thing that I have. So now I'm like annoyed with that because I hate when I'm so old school. When I get used to something, I hate when it gets switched up on me. I can't stand it. It's like technology. Once I figure out how to do something on my phone or my computer, if I have to change it in any way, shape, or form, I get really annoyed really quick. Isn't it horrible? I hate when they do that. I don't need another credit card to keep track of. I had that one in. It was like in there, and when I would go to Kohl's, I would swipe it. Are there any discounts associated with my purchase today if I put it on my Kohl's credit card? And they'd say yes most of the time. And so I would swipe it, and then I would pay it off right away, right? So you use it. But no, they didn't even ask me. They just sent me a new card, and then it's in my Capital One online banking thingy. And I'm like, I didn't ask you for that. Yeah, it's okay. I can be dinged on my I want to cancel all my credit cards that I have. I have so many credit cards. I don't keep balances on them. Actually, I only have one credit card that I use, and I use it like a debit card. So it's what I pay for everything with, and then I just pay it off every month. Because if somebody steals my paying information, the credit card company is easier to cancel those transactions with than your bank. So it's better to play with the credit card company's money than your own. Yeah, Belk did the same thing. Well, eventually they close. I don't care. I'll take the hit. It doesn't last that long. The hit doesn't last that long. And all you have to do when you close a credit card down is you send a letter telling them that you want to, and you make sure that you have that letter and you save it with all your stuff. Ugh. It's always change, change, change. Everything changes. Shopco? Oh, what was that like? I like TJ Maxx prices for sure, but I hate how, at least ours, you really have to dig. I don't like to dig. What kind of letter do you mean, Anna? Letter? What do you mean? Oh, what kind of letter? I hear. Sorry, I'm still, yeah. Like you need to write a letter to the credit card company telling them that you want to cancel the credit card and have that so it doesn't look like there's two words. An upper class Walmart. Oh, that's cool. There's two words. One of them is worse. So it looks like they shut your card down instead of you requesting it. It doesn't matter. My sister and my brother-in-law closed all their accounts, and they just have the Apple card. But I like my card that I use because I earn points on it. Or I earn money, cash back on it. So it's pretty cool. So like right now, I think I have like $500 cash back. I just let it go, let it go, let it go. And then at Christmas time, it's fun to see how high it is, and you take it out. They send you a check. Pretty cool. Hey, Sally. Washington State. Right, so it doesn't look like it's on their part. Right. Yes, any card that earns you money is awesome. Just don't fall for the apply it to my balance. Always cash it out. Stories in the South. 𝓕𝓛𝓬𝓻 and Hex. Huh. What are those stores? 𝓕𝓛𝓬𝓻's? They add up. I was collecting, and then because I was afraid they were going to take it away, and so I would always, when it would get like 70, I'd do Ernie's and do mine, and then I would get all these checks, and I'd be like, yeah, we got all these checks worth whatever, and then I stopped doing it. So now I'm like, just letting it all add up. Hey, Lisa from North Carolina. You doing okay over there? Thank you. I'll feel better, I promise. Macy's Kohl's. Okay. You guys are all so nice to each other. I love it. Hey, are you good from Georgia? You guys doing good over there? Thank you, guys. Thanks for hitting the like button. I appreciate it. Nice. Good. I'm glad. Glad. Everyone's really nice. I have a really great community here in my little corner of YouTube. Really nice community of lovely people and so much information. If we could all get together and write a book, oh my gosh. Good, I'm glad. Glad to hear you guys are doing good over there in Georgia. Oh, thank you, Pam. Nasally, it's a word. We do, we have the best. I know, Elizabeth. That's what somebody else just said. You guys will cool off soon, but you guys are getting cooler in the evenings, right? It's not staying hot at night, right? I'm hoping today's my last day of feeling. I just really want to go to bed right now. That's all I really want to do. 𝓕𝓾𝓻𝓷𝓸 works the best. Oh, Deborah, yuck. All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to get going too. I just wanted to jump on here and let you guys know the candles will be ready this week. I will let you guys know on Instagram in my stories and here on YouTube on my community tab when they're going to go live on the website. And that way you guys know I'm only going to have 30 of them available in the beginning. Hey, from Morocco. Thank you. I'm getting ready to take off. You can always watch the replay. Everybody take care. Everybody in Florida, take care. Everybody pray for those in Florida. And keep praying for everybody else that's been impacted by Helene. So we'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.